Seriously, the only thing I wanted for Christmas this year was a brand new, great sci-fi epic to really sink my teeth into. Well, unfortunately, it looks like I'm going to be asking for the same thing again next time. Let's talk about Rebel Moon. What's up, guys? I'm Sully, and today we're talking about the brand new Zack Snyder sci-fi epic on Netflix, Rebel Moon. All you need to know about this one is that the story goes like this. When a peaceful colony on the edge of the galaxy finds itself threatened by a fearsome tyrant, they dispatch Cora, a young woman with a mysterious past, to seek out warriors from neighboring planets to help them take a stand. So I'll start this one off by saying that I'm not the biggest Zack Snyder fan on the planet. I definitely do enjoy some of his movies. Every time he tackles the zombie film, I will be seated. But I feel like more often than not with this guy, what we get is style over substance. Like, if you want to watch a movie with great visuals and interesting action, he's usually got you covered. But if you're looking for something with deep character development and top-notch pacing, you're pretty much shit out of luck. And I feel like everybody knows this by now, but this project was originally supposed to be a Star Wars movie that was written and directed by Zack Snyder. But after the merger with Disney and all the great things they had planned for the franchise, the movie never got off the ground. So he took the script, made it his own thing, and created one massive movie that's split into two parts. And I'm a firm believer of not really being able to properly judge a film that's a part one until we have the whole story and can see how the installments work off of each other. But Rebel Moon doesn't only have part one problems, no sir, it just has flat out problems. And look, before I go on my rant here, there are definitely elements of this movie that I did enjoy. It feels epic in scale, this universe is dense, the stakes are high, and honestly, the first 30 minutes of this movie pretty much gave me everything that I wanted out of a brand new sci-fi adventure. But let's address the elephant in the room here. You know this movie was absolutely hacked to bits in the editing room because for some reason they wanted to keep it at a PG-13 rating. We somehow jump from planet to planet, character to character, and conflict to conflict at breakneck speed, even though the movie has plenty of time to breathe at 140 minutes long, 20 minutes of which was in slow-mo, might I add. But seriously, like, make that make sense to me. Because I just feel like when the credits rolled, I hadn't learned all that much about this story, the universe, and these characters that I didn't already know before I sat down to watch it. Which is a total bummer because I like all of the actors involved here. But it's pretty much impossible to find yourself attached to any of our main heroes or get invested in their journey when the movie is structured the way that it is. And hey, like I said earlier, it ain't all bad. There are definitely some fantastic visuals, cool world-building moments, and fun action sequences along the way. Is it kind of a jumbled-up ripoff of Star Wars and Avatar, tossed into a blender and turned on at the highest setting? I mean, yeah, but I'm just such a big sci-fi nerd that I can look past that a little bit. And I had fun with some of the individual scenes and scenarios in a vacuum. But ultimately, the end product is so frustrating more than anything else because everything is trapped in this movie that's been butchered beyond belief on an editing and pacing level. Now, a big part of this movie's failure, I'm blaming on the decision of how it's actually being released. Because we already know that an R-rated director's cut is coming next year, which sounds absolutely crazy, right? Because I can pretty much guarantee that the extended cut of this movie will 100% be the definitive version. So why would they release this surface level and sliced up cut now, only to give us what we're all waiting for just a few months later? It just seems like a very obvious and botched attempt at recreating the hype around the situation with the Snyder cut of the Justice League a couple years ago, but it ain't working this time, pal. Distributing the movie this way is like if I purposely baked a cake without any frosting on it so that I could guarantee the next time I serve a frosted cake, it's already going to be better than the first time. Why would a film like this be cut down if it's releasing on a streamer anyway? Like, okay, if it's exclusively going to theaters, I understand people don't want to sit around and let their ass get numb for a 5-hour film, but if you're watching it at home, you can just pause it if you need to make a sandwich, take a dump, do whatever you gotta do before you dive back in. Why they thought this cut of the movie was necessary will never make sense to me, and I'm at a loss, honestly. Overall, guys, I think if you're already a big Zack Snyder fan, then there's probably something here for you to enjoy, but if you're not, I don't see how I can really recommend watching this version of Rebel Moon to anyone when we think a far superior cut, much more in line with the director's original vision, is releasing in a few months. Now, you guys know I'm a total sci-fi nerd, I just love it, so the world building, the action, and the visuals definitely scratch that itch for me from time to time. but the pacing and the editing take a metric shit ton of the enjoyment out of this movie. That's no bueno. Rebel Moon gets a Sully score of 2.5 stars. So that's my review of the latest Zack Snyder film. What do you think is the best movie he's ever directed? Probably a pretty loaded question if you're a big fan of his. Let me know in the comments below, but don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys at the next one.